Hi, everybody. Please help me keep Greyhawk alive by liking this video and subscribing. It really does help. You can also become a member of the channel or support me on Patreon and get early access to my videos, exclusive content, free or at-cost copies of my Greyheim Adventures modules, and more. Thanks, and enjoy the show. The world of Greyhawk has kind of undergone a renaissance in the last 2 months, and I want to talk about it today on Greyhawk Grognard. So, as you all doubtless know, a little over 2 months ago, Wizards of the Coast opened up the world of Greyhawk on DM's Guild, which is their official publishing arm for PDF and print-on-demand books. And in that time, I think there's been a definite change in the energy in Greyhawk fandom. Before that happened, there was obviously the Greyhawk fan community has been very active and so forth. But there was always the feeling, this kind of the substrata that it was just the fans, kind of limping along, sub rosa and so forth. And I think the energy's kind of changed now. There's always been sites like Cannon Fire, and there are very active communities um, on Facebook and Dragon's Foot and other places like that. And of course, there's YouTube channels like this one. But I really think seeing it get not official support, although I'm going to get there in a second, but sort of official sanction has kind of energized things. There have been about 30 fan produced books on DM's Guild since that happened, and that's pretty extraordinary. I know my books have gotten to gold, Electrum and silver bestsellers over there, and I'm just feeling a different kind of energy now. Over the last 2 months, because we're seeing a lot more people come into Greyhawk fandom. It appeared as the sample setting in the new DM's guide, the 2024 DM's guide, and that's bringing in a lot of people. I get comments all the time, Facebook and here. I didn't really know anything about Greyhawk, and then I saw it in the DM's guide, and I found your channel or whatever. And it my personal experience, and it's completely anecdotal, is that more people are indeed coming into Greyhawk fandom, and they're finding the fan community that has existed all these years. And I think that's given us a little jolt of energy, which I kind of like. And I know 2025. I'm predicting that 2025 will see a lot of activity in the Greyhawk fan community. There are Patreons out there that are producing enormously great stuff. Anna Meyer with her maps and so forth. I mean, there's a ton of others. I can't cover them all because I can't afford them all. Um, but there's channels here on YouTube. There are Facebook groups. There is Cannon Fire. If you haven't gone to Cannon Fire, do go there. CANO Cannon, not cannon like a gun. Um, and check it out because there's all kinds of great in-depth discussions over there and a lot of resources and so forth. I know at conventions, 2025, I'm going to 7 different conventions, which is kind of crazy. And Greyhawk, uh, Greyhawk events are consistently sold out. I notice at conventions everywhere I go. I see Greyhawk stuff on there. Here in the Northeast, in the Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, especially, there is Greyhawk Reborn, which is kind of um, a resuscitation of the old Living Greyhawk campaign, and they're set, I believe, in Kaoland. In the world of Greyhawk, they're very active around here. I know I'm going to be running my Greyhawk war games, my miniature war games. We'll be at a bunch of different conventions. I did the first one at ShireCon last year, and it was a hoot. Well, this year, I should say, and it was a hoot, and people seem to really enjoy it. So I'm going to be expanding that program. Getting Greyhawk out there in a different form. As a miniature war game rather than only as an RPG. And I'm encouraging. I want to see more people out there doing stuff like this. The fan community is the heart of Greyhawk. The fan community are the ones who really own it in the real sense. Wizards owns it in a legal sense because they own the IP, the intellectual property. But it's the players, it's the fans who actually breathe life into the setting. And let's grab that bull by the horns and make 2025 ours. It's great because on DM's Guild I'm seeing different competing visions for what Greyhawk is. There's my stuff, which takes a very old school approach, and there are other things out there that take the old school stuff and they completely change it around. They use a completely different map in one case, and they're presenting a different vision of what Greyhawk is. And there's other people are doing the same thing. Other people are doing enormously, incredibly detailed deep dives into particular areas of the Flyness and areas where there are established modules that have been published over the years, and they're just going into exhausting detail on these things, and they're just constantly cranking this stuff out. Three Orcs does that around Verbabank. It's wonderful to see. And when I say competing visions, I don't mean competing in the sense of one of us must come out on top in the end, because that's not how this works. That's not how gaming fandom works, right? It's you as a DM or as a player can pick and choose little bits and pieces from all of them and make the one that you want. Because in the end, there's not just one Greyhawk. There are as many Greyhawks as there are Greyhawk fans, and everybody's going to have their own little tweak on it. And some of those tweaks are not so little. Some of them are enormous. You get rid of the entire western half of Orc. In some cases, and that's fine. That's cool. It's still Greyhawk because it's your Greyhawk. It doesn't have to be my Greyhawk, but you can take my Greyhawk stuff and what you want out of it and throw it into yours. And same thing with any of that stuff that's been published. Take what you want, leave what you don't, and make it your own. That is how Greyhawk fandom works. That's how all the D&D setting fandoms work, especially when they are not being actively promoted by Wizards of the Coast, because this gives us the space to define what Greyhawk is. I know that Jay Scott and Luke Gygax are coming out with something next year. It's going to be a big thing, a big book coming out, and I think it's an adventure and a source book and things about the North, and that's going to take things in a whole other direction. It's wonderful to see all this stuff happening, and I want to see us really flower in terms of let 1,000 Greyhawks bloom, and you as a DM and choose from among those flowers to build the one that you want. So anyway, I just wanted to going into the new year, I just wanted to get that out there. I think this is wonderful what we're seeing. We're seeing a ton of different visions of Greyhawk, and that's giving DMs so many great options to choose from. We're seeing new people coming in thanks to the DM's guide, and they're discovering these channels. I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers, which is just unbelievable to me. We're seeing all kinds of activity in the Greyhawk sphere, and I want that to continue in 2025. Let's keep going. So hope you had a wonderful holiday. Hope you have a wonderful new year, and I will see you all in 2025.
Thanks for watching today's video. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Below you'll find links to my Patreon, which helps make these videos possible. You'll also find the web store where you can buy my books, and my blog where you'll find all sorts of free downloads and other articles. Thanks, and have a great day.